All right, everybody. Author Matthew Douglas Pinard, formerly James Douglas Morrison. Please stop and you remember we were together. Tell all the people that you see, still me. I want another highly prophetic song, which I was watching Mark Allison as one of our watchmen on the wall. Mark, you're going to get a crown of glory. And Stephen Baldwin referenced this song. So this is a rapture song. Okay, the soft parade has multiple meanings. It's the parade of souls going through dimensional wormholes to heaven, up to the glory cloud, which will be the title of my 9th book. So, Jim, highly prophetic. When I was back there in seminary school, there was a person who could put forth the proposition that you can petition the Lord with prayer. And then he screams, you cannot petition the Lord with prayer. So Jim's revealing how close he was to the Lord. And he even prophetically predicted that the true king would be here in end times in physical form, and that people would be trying to murder him. So he said, when the true king's murderers are allowed to roam free, 1,000 magicians will rise in the land. People would try to murder him, but get away with it. Murder can be slander too. So falsely accuse, not just trying to physically kill. All right, so Jim's saying, can you find me sanctuary? I must find a place to hide, a place for me to hide. So in end times, Christians, when the Antichrist beast system, which is already here, starts getting ramped up, they're going to come after Christians, door to door. So it's this pleading, you got to hide me out. Can you find me soft asylum? I can't make it anymore. The man is at the door. Same thing. People are tired right now. We're waiting for the rapture. We're anxiously waiting for it. We want soft asylum. We want protection from that Antichrist. That is going to behead people that do not bow to him, by the way. I have my own thoughts as to who that is. I think there's multiple people, though, that Satan properly aligned or lined up that could fulfill the role should something happen to any one person. So let's see. What else? All our lives we sweat and save building for a shallow grave. Jim is just commenting on, so many of us in this world, there's like a 1% uber wealthy and the rest of us, and we just sweat and save and then eventually die. And he's like commenting, what's the point of it, Somehow to defend this place. So he's saying there must be something to say to defend this place, but it's literal hell on earth. Okay, the cobra on my left, leopard on my right. This is a veiled reference to the Antichrist. Okay, so there was somebody who thinks it's Erdogan, the president of Turkey, and they mentioned him being a leopard or having a leopard-like quality. So Jim was kind of visually seeing these possible Antichrist people coming on the scene. Cobra on my left would be, Satan is always on the left. So the snake system, the beast system, which is already here. Kiss the hunter of the green vest, who has wrestled before with lions in the night. So that's his reference to me coming after him. He knew I would be able to decode our prophecies. I was with him in body, in the doors. That's why I look so much like him. So I'm basically a reincarnation, but it's just like a rebirth. Hunter of the green vest. In the military, I wore a green vest. I was trained in combat tactics, a master of military history, a 7th degree black belt in samurai jiu-jitsu, so that there would be this hunter that would come who's wrestled before with lions in the night. The lions in the night are non-physical demon entities in the world that are controlling our world leaders through thought and motivation. And, a lot of, you hear about people having to get in Hollywood to do something that sets them up for blackmail down the road if they ever should say no, right? So people are blackmailed. That is the lions in the night trying to taking control of the world. Out of sight, the lights are getting brighter. The radio is moaning, calling to the dogs. So he knew I would have 2 dogs. He knew that I'd find more comfort in them in end times. But as I was coming into my awakening, that the lights would get brighter, the radio is moaning, and I've I think 400 plus, almost 500 times where I've been in my car when a Doors song came on. So what I'm telling you is true. It's getting harder to describe sailors to the underfed. So he's saying there's going to be certain people that are on a higher state of consciousness, spiritual plane than others. The others would be the underfed. So it's going to be hard for us to relate to them, to tell them spiritual things in end times. Okay? What else? What else? He talks about the crossroads, right? That's historically like Robert Johnson meeting the devil at the crossroads, sacrificing his life to be able to play guitar. When all else fails, we can whip the horse's eyes and make them sleep and cry. Okay, so also he referred to horses in Lover Madly. 7 horses seem to be on the mark. The horses he's talking about are orbiting systems. Like when Nibiru comes by to dispense wrath, a whole bunch of meteors, like we've seen a ton of meteor showers lately, will whip out from the horse's tail, from the red dragon's tail. And also Nibiru has 7 moons or 7 planets orbiting it. So there's the 7 horses on the mark, and whipping the horse's eyes and make them sleep and cry. Jim is saying if nobody listens to us and they continue in evil Babylonian ways, God, as he's bringing wrath, Jim is saying, because it's our job to try to save you. Some people don't want to be saved. They don't want to hear the truth. So Jim is saying we can whip the horse's eyes through prayer to try to slow down the wrath upon people that aren't awake yet. Okay, I believe wrath should come on people trying to start wars for no reason, people trying to murder God's children for no reason. That's where the wrath needs to be directed. I'm not the one to do that. I think it should happen because I think we all have a right to exist here and God-given rights. But you can see with certain things, medical emergencies as of late, that constitutional laws, in my opinion, are being circumvented. You have a 14th Amendment, a right to not put something in your body. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. All right, so let's listen. You can hear my voice is pretty close to the same.
When I
was back there in seminary school, there was a person there, forth the proposition that you can petition the Lord with prayer. Petition the Lord with prayer. Petition the Lord with prayer. You cannot petition the Lord with prayer. Can you give me sanctuary? I must find a place to hide, a place for me to hide. Can you find me soft asylum? I can't make it anymore. The man is at the door. Peppermint miniskirts, chocolate candy, champion sax, and a girl named Sandy. There's only 4 ways to get unraveled. One is to sleep, the other is travel, da-da. One is a bandit up in the hills. One is to love your neighbor till his wife gets home. Catacombs, nursery bones, winter women growing stones, carrying babies to the river, streets and shoes, avenues, leather riders selling news. A monk bought lunch. Bought a little, yes he did. Woo! Best part of the trip. The trip, the best part. I really like. What'd he say? Yeah. Yeah, right. Pretty good, huh? Ha! Yeah, proud to be a part of this number. Successful heroes are here to stay. Everything must be this way. Channel Street where people play. Welcome to the soft parade. All our lives we sweat and save. Building for a Paris grave. Must be something else we say. Somehow to defend this place. Everything must be this way. Everything must be this way, yeah. Hey! Woo! The soft parade has now begun. Listen to the engines hum. People out to have some fun. Satan on my left, Erdogan on my right, yeah. Prophet, dear woman in a silk dress. Girls with beads around their necks. Kiss the honor of a green vest. Wrestle before with demons in the night. Out of sight. The lights are getting brighter. The radio is moaning, calling to the dogs, and I'll kill a few animals left out in the yard, but it's getting harder, Pam, to describe sailors to the spiritually blind. Tropic corridor, tropic treasure. What got us this far to this mild equator? Need someone, something new, something else to get us through, yeah. Come on. Lean on the dogs. But it's getting harder. Calling on the dogs. You gotta meet me too late, baby. Lost in the yard, but it's getting harder. At the edge of town. know something else to get us through. Better bring your gun. When all else fails, we can whip the horses' eyes and make them sleep and cry. James Douglas Moore, Matthew Douglas Pennard, same.